Hello. In the course of creating some learning materials for my students on the topic of sustainable agriculture, I came across something I had never heard of before. Aquaponics. Clearly something to do with water. I was curious about what aquaponics is, so I set about finding out about it. So here's what I found out, beginning with the problems of food production and then how aquaponics can help with this. So feeding the growing world population is not easy now and will become more difficult as the world population grows. Using current models of food production, where crops are grown in soil, will require more and more farmland, and this will necessitate more deforestation, which of course is not a great idea. Secondly, traditional farming methods also require a lot of water. Water is a valuable commodity, especially for those people who live in dry, arid lands where water is in short supply. It's not feasible to be watering the plants with water. The people need it to drink. Thirdly, we know that growing food on farms has a damaging effect on the soil. Farmers use pesticides and herbicides to stop the pests from eating the plants and the weeds from growing in and around the plants. These chemicals damage the soil, indeed the growing of the crop itself depletes the soil of essential nutrients, so after some time the soil won't be so much use for growing certain types of crops. This is why farmers use crop rotation and have fallow years when the ground is left without any crops in order to allow it to replenish its water and nutrient supply. Finally is the transport problem of transporting food to its final destination, commonly known as the food miles. Much of our food is transported across the country where it's grown and indeed across borders to other countries, which creates CO2 emissions from the transport. And this is where aquaponics comes in. It's a system of food growing which can mitigate some of these problems. It's a system of growing food where soil is not required. The roots of the plants grow in water, and that water is shared between the plants and fish that are in a tank near or below where the plants are growing. And there's nothing particularly exceptional about growing plants with the roots in water. The genius bit comes from how the roots get their nutrients that help the plant to grow. In a soil crop, fertilizer is added. These fertilizers contain the necessary nutrients to help the plants to grow. In an aquaponics system, the necessary nutrients come from the fish waste. So the fish are in the tank and the fish eat and they excrete their waste just like all humans and animals do. The fish waste is then transferred to the water and towards the plant roots. So fish waste is full of nitrogen in the form of ammonia, along with a variety of other nutrients like phosphorus and potassium, all of which are very useful for the plants to grow. I'll explain that in more detail. Bacteria that lives in the gravel in the fish tank convert the ammonia first into nitrites, and then to nitrates, which the plants can use. The water in the tank, which contains ammonia, nitrites, nitrates, phosphorus, potassium and other micronutrients, is continuously pumped from the tank where the fish live into a grow bed where the plants are located, specifically the plant roots where they are located. As the water passes the plant roots, the roots remove the nutrients from this water, and through this process of removing the nutrients, they also clean the water because they are taking on board these nutrients. The clean water then continues its journey back into the fish tank, so the fish are not short of water. This cleaning process helps to keep the water fresh, and the fish are therefore happier and healthier. So there's this continuous flow of water from the fish tank, which is dirty for the fish, to the plants, which is good quality water for the plants, and then it goes back to the fish in a clean state. So the advantages of aquaponics are then twofold. As I said earlier, it does not require soil because the plant roots are directly in the water. And secondly, the plants do not require regular watering. If you grow any plants at home, you'll know that they need water to live and to grow. And the reason the plants don't need water is because that water is already in the system. It's taken from the fish tank. Now, the fish tank will require occasional topping up with water, but not too much. So the relationship between the plants and the fish is symbiotic, because the fish feed the plants and the plants keep the water clean. All the human needs to do in this equation is feed the fish. Not all plants will grow easily in this type of system. It works best with leafy green vegetables like lettuce and spinach, which grow very well in these systems. Although it's quite a new idea, there is a lot of interest in aquaponics, both as a small scale way of growing vegetables for the home and at a more industrial farming level. It's also the subject of quite a lot of research by scientists who are trying to make aquaponics more productive while still keeping it sustainable. In fact, it's given me an idea for a birthday present for my wife. You can buy aquaponic fish tanks where above the fish tank you can grow herbs like coriander that we use in cooking. So there we are, aquaponics. Thank you.